And here is the Vegan's Almanac for today, September the 18th, 2024. It was on this day in 2018 that Radiant, Farm Animals Up Close and Personal by Trere Scott was published. Trere Scott is known for her portraits of dogs and wildlife, but in this loving tribute, she turns her attention to farmed animals. The elephant, or Jersey cow, in the room, of course, is how many of these species are used for food. Scott doesn't shy away from this topic, nor does she dwell on it. She chooses instead to focus on her subjects, all of whom were photographed under ideal circumstances, close to the humans they know and love, and at the sanctuary farms they call home. This allowed Scott to truly capture the confidence and regality of Henri, a Slate heritage breed turkey who has assumed the role of caretaker for a flock of chickens, Marcia, a Nigerian dwarf goat who loves humans, and Buffalo Bill, a gentle, affectionate water buffalo being trained as a therapy animal for autistic children. Each entry begins with an overview of the breed's heritage and key characteristics. The donkey's famous stubbornness, for example, is actually a valuable self-preservation instinct, along with the individual animal's unique traits. Scott's look at these species is equal parts affectionate, informative, and respectful. This is a remarkably soulful book of portraits of the beasts we normally take for granted or try not to look at too hard. Scott has assembled a simple and beautiful book of the visages of cows, pigs, sheep, chickens, and more exotic animals, a yak, a miniature donkey, and an Indian peafowl that live on farm sanctuaries. The book is enjoyable and easy to read because the animals featured are the lucky ones who will not be killed to produce food or clothing. This is not commonplace for these species, which Scott somberly acknowledges. Radiant presents the lives that all farmed animals could have in a kinder world. For that reason, this book is incredibly important to a world in which factory farming is commonplace. These captivating up-close color portraits put us just inches away from our animal friends, showing us every detail of their beautiful faces and letting viewers into their emotional worlds. This book lives up to its title, Radiant. You can also purchase 12 of these portraits as unique greeting cards with envelopes. This card set will delight every animal lover. And it was on this day in 2020, the Animal Legal Defense Fund published the article, Ending the Shark Fin Trade in Florida. The Kristen Jacobs Ocean Conservation Act, Senate Bill 680, was signed into law by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Tens of millions of sharks are killed annually for their fins. Their fins are cut off, usually while the shark is still alive, and then the animal is discarded back into the ocean to suffer a slow death. The Kristen Jacobs Ocean Conservation Act limits the sale, import, and export of shark fins with an exemption for commercial fishermen who currently hold federal permits to sell the fins of sharks they catch. The state will not recognize new permits moving forward. Additionally, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission will conduct a sustainability study on shark finning in Florida to assess whether other changes to the law are appropriate. The act helps ensure that Florida no longer supports or participates in the global shark fin trade, which is devastating shark populations around the world and leading to the extinction of many shark species. The Animal Legal Defense Fund was part of the coalition of organizations supporting Senate Bill 680. And here's a prayer written by Carol J. Adams. God of safe spaces and loving places, you know that every morning is a good morning for chickens. My friends who run a sanctuary know it too. They say, every morning is a good morning for chickens, who are free to peck and stretch and roam outside. May this be true for me, too, in the sanctuary of your love. May every morning be a good morning. Thank you for the lessons to be learned from your creatures. Thank you for each and every good morning. A prayer by Carol J. Adams, used here with permission from the author. This has been the Vegan's Almanac, with the reminder that every creature deserves to live in peace.